Hi there, my name is Jamie Rincon. I am the Marketing Communications Manager for Worthing Homes. I'm here joined by my lovely colleague Carol.
I'm Carol Clark. I've been a resident with Worthing Homes for 5 years and I'm currently chairman of the Residents' Voice panel.
Amazing. And so Carol kind of chairs the Residents' Voice, a group of residents that get involved in lots of different areas. One of the areas that they got involved in, which we talk about today, is the damp and mould scrutiny. We're going to talk about the experiences and what exactly they went through. So I'll let Carol take over.
So yes, we wanted to find out what residents knew, how the response was from Worthing Homes, and generally satisfaction levels, and was there something we could look at and be that critical friend that we need to be to find out for Worthing Homes. I'm pleased to report it was wonderful. They have everything in place and are fully compliant. But it was a really interesting journey because this one in particular involved a lot of residents. So we were able to tap into residents that had experienced this issue and how they'd experienced it and talk to them directly when they agreed, and it's amazing what you can learn. Now personally, and I will say this, I didn't know what damp and mould looked like. I've been in flats, not a Worthing Homes one, but I've been in flats where there's sort of been black bits on the wall and that, and I've just cleaned it off thinking, oh, it's got dirty. Didn't realise it was even damp and mould. And when we were talking to people, that was coming across in a big way. So we then looked at communications, which Jamie took a great part in.
Yeah, off the back of the damp and mould scrutiny, the findings were around communication, giving residents the ability to understand what exactly the differences are in damp and mould and condensation. We created some posters to go out in every single block that we run. We also created informal and informative leaflets. We looked at the wording as well and making things as simple as possible using diagrams and infographics to break down the importance of understanding what the differences are in damp, mold and condensation. On the website side of things, we really looked at the user journey. We looked at how can we make it as simple as possible for residents to get the information that they need, to understand what they need to do and to get the support. One of the major changes around damp and mold and condensation is that everything that we work on, whether it's printed or digital, there will be an element of damp and mold in there. So we'll keep reminding residents at every touch point the ability for them to access knowledge, access links, just to recap what's going on. So it's not just one message and that's it. I think it's important from our point of view that we just keep drumming that message in and just making sure that if people need more support, we're there to give them the support. So I think damp and mold and condensation is a long-term project, but it's one that started with Residents' Voice, which is excellent, and it will continue with us in collaboration.